Disclaimer. The opinions expressed on this podcast are those of your hosts, Josie and Bree, and occasionally our guests. And let's be real, we don't always agree. Sometimes it's tea, sometimes it's wine, and sometimes it's pure, unfiltered chaos. Either way, we're here for the real talk, not the polite nods. If you're easily offended or allergic to strong opinions, consider this your fair warning. Grab a snack, maybe a drink, and settle in. Josie and Bree have thoughts. Listener discretion is advised and probably necessary.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hello.
I am Bree, and if you don't know, this is lovely Josie.
Hola.
And this is Strength and Shadows, and we're recovering right now. So last night, Josie, we had on a guest, and this is the first time that we have ever done an intro where it has been after we have spoke to a guest. Normally we try to give you this really nice presentation about them before. So normally we give you guys an intro, like I said, before somebody, but we are going to talk about what we went through last night. And we interviewed the famous woman right now that's famous for trending on TikTok for falling in love with her psychiatrist. And her name is Kendra.
Right. And not the Kendra we've had already on, because there's been some confusion on that.
Yes, there has. Yes, there has. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think happened right now? Last night.
Well, she was too stunned to speak. Like we need that audio from TikTok.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
And listen, we're not throwing any shade. We're not throwing any, digs or anything. It was just a very, interesting, like there have been last season. Okay. We could tell my face multiple times when I was like, last night's interview was definitely something very interesting.
She is so much calmer when we're talking to her than online. And that's why I'm like stunned. I legit thought we were going to interview a batshit crazy person that we couldn't keep on a track.
Yeah.
Did you think that?
I did. I was like, pre-recording, we're always like, look, like we've got to have this, like, I think we were done in less than an hour. We had some technical difficulties, so bear with us when we deal with that, because apparently my internet, and we've got a mesh system too. And I don't know what's going on. I've got to call the internet people because it went down and I felt horrible because Bree is like, we were like mid, like her, and then it was like bam, and I was like, oh man, is this like is this a sign or like? And I'm just joking.
So, yeah, she's like super chill.
She was very.
Josie found Kendra and was like snatched it. Was like, we need to talk to you. Come over here. And go Josie, because Josie has been real quiet through these seasons, So
we've got some good ones coming up though.
Yes.
We got some good stories.
So Josie was sending me the videos and stuff, and I was thinking, I was like, who the fuck? We're gonna do what? We're not equipped, but she was so calm and kind and well spoken.
She was
very educated woman.
It was almost like kind of talking to just like a friend.
Yeah.
Like kind of like a friend. Like she was very friendly. She was very, she's very compassionate. I feel like she is somewhat of an empath. At least that's the vibe that I got from her. Like she was very like, oh my goodness. Like we kind of shared a few things and she was just very, like, but it's like we talked about. I think that the internet right now.
We related with her a lot.
Yeah. I mean, down to, me asking her about, the Goodwill wedding dress. That's a clip that you guys are gonna, that's on the podcast. And it's just me being, me who's
we have to be funny in such a awkward situation.
Always.
Do you think, now that you've seen Kendra and you and us in a private setting and having conversation with her, Do you think there's two different Kendras, like the private one and then the one on TikTok?
So I think because okay, again, going by what we talked to her on the podcast,
Hmm.
which will become after this. Think about it. When we go live, or when we used to,
Yeah.
I went live the other day. I'm very different. I'm very like chatterboxy. I mean, I'm chatterboxy here too. So I'm kind of like myself. Like I kind of out of my element. And
Hmm.
then in my videos, it's the internet. I think you can be whoever or whatever you want to be. And I think that's what, like, I think she gets on these lives, and I think that people sometimes come in and they like antagonize
Like the
her.
narrative of it, like
Yeah.
the
And so
control of it, just
she feels like she has to like be this persona, maybe. And I'm not saying she has like, I'm not diagnosing her with anything, because look, like I've got my own mental health issues that I haven't got diagnosed. But yeah, I think that she tries to. All right, we'll cut that out if we have to. I'm sorry.
I'm reading
What?
a text message, and it was somebody sent me something about Kendra. Kendra, you're gonna laugh with me. I'm not laughing at you. Okay, I'm about to
Oh
read it
shit.
out loud.
Oh shit. What?
I tried to keep it.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me drink my drink first. Okay.
Kendra, you're gonna get ready to laugh with us really quick because somebody said, "How fucking dare you, Kendra, make me agree with a man?"
No.
So stupid. People, you guys ain't shit on TikTok. I'm sorry, that was very unprofessional, but it was so funny. Kendra was gonna laugh about that because we don't even if Kendra was making it up, we don't agree with men. We hate men. I'm just kidding.
Unless you're Coetzel.
You know?
Um,
Yeah. So at the
but
same damn time. Sorry.
we,
Anyways,
but
continue.
but but yeah, like I think that how many times have we been in lives and you get heated and
Oh, I lose my life in those.
bruh, I remember back in the 5-6 years ago, that Brie,
Mhm.
that those
Oh
were fun times. Those were fun times.
yeah, dude.
Um,
My Reddit stalker will be posting it sometimes, and I'm like, I'm not even the same person. Give me a fucking break, Tiffany.
is that her real name, Tiffany? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
unfortunately, I know who she is. Yeah,
Ramona, the
I'm just
only
not.
one who
If I like I said, you'll never get hated on by a bitch doing better than you. You know, so or
What
prettier than
was that? There was somebody said
you.
something. Oh my gosh, it was a video. Like again, we do our research
Yeah.
normally, and somebody said something. Kendra said something. I don't know if it was Kendra, if it was somebody else who said that said no sane woman has ever been famous or some shit. I was trying to get ready, and I was like, I
Stop
couldn't.
it. No sane woman has ever been famous. That's, you know what?
But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh shit, they're not wrong.
Let me tell you something. Even if this is not real and Kendra is delusional or having something going on with her, I believe in delusion. I live in a delusional life anyway. I literally feel like I'm going to be a millionaire one day, you know? I feel like
I
one
mean,
day I shouldn't get up and go to work. I delulu about all kinds of stuff. So it's just like, it's
I'm
her reality.
delusional
I
too. I mean, I feel like I'm a millionaire. Like I live like I'm a millionaire. Like,
same,
I mean,
same girl. I
I'm like,
flop,
hey,
flop, and flop like I am.
I've been like 20 bucks in my bank account, and I'm like, do I need this $10 coffee?
Yeah,
No. But I mean, should I get it? No. Am I going to? Yes. I mean, that's pretty fucking delusional.
same girl, same. And I don't care, So this morning,
My hair.
back to Kendra. This
Yes.
morning, there was a woman and I'm waiting for her to see it because I mean, I tried to, like Josie said, we do our research, and stuff like that. And I think you actually sent it to me, but there is an Australian woman, right? Is this her?
I'm actually at work right now, so
Yes.
I will
And I
post.
think it's satire. I think
I think
maybe that
it's has to be satire, right?
it
Um,
has to
you
be.
know,
And I think people are piggybacking. We talked about this, right? I think people are seeing what an internet sensation she is. So
yeah,
they're like, let me get my 5 minutes of fame and jump
with
on
her,
this.
yeah.
And, she's got the ex friend or ex I mean, that in
Yeah.
itself was a little weird, but her ex-client that became her friend, and I'm like, and maybe that's where those boundaries, right? Like, because she was saying, like,
she put up some boundaries.
or he did, and then
Yeah.
I
I
think
don't
that
think,
I don't,
yeah.
I don't, girl, I don't
Yeah.
know, like,
We're hoping that you guys get to see Kendra in a different light, because the Kendra that I've seen from the videos being shared to me is not what I feel like is the same Kendra that we interviewed last night.
no, I don't think so
And,
either.
it's like she's so chill. She's like a chill girl, So, yeah, I think she's great. I don't know. There was some comment. I want to read a comment right now that I got this morning, and it's relatively the same type of comments that me and Josie have been getting when we posted about Kendra. And I think that this is the biggest reach from the internet, and I hope that you guys actually shut the fuck up with this type of comment. It's stupid. It says, isn't it harassment if he liked it? This man can't spell. First of all, it's a man, so, it isn't harassment if he liked it. If you think it's okay for her to think that, imagine if the genders were flipped. She's a predator with a capital P. First and foremost, okay? If there's two consenting adults, not one or the other can be a predator, okay? If there's two consenting people, and I'm going to say adults because children can't give consent. So if there's two consenting adults, that's literally not harassment, okay? And the fact that this psychiatrist, saw Kendra for a full entire year until she decided to leave, does not mean that she's a predator. Okay? If I'm telling you, if he is in a position to say after this 45 minutes, he wouldn't even have to tell her. He could just, okay, I'll schedule you for the next one, and then cancel her and not let her back.
Correct.
He chose to keep her until she left a year later. So stop calling her a fucking predator, first and foremost. If you call her delusional, call her crazy, call her whatever you want. Don't call her
Don't call her late
predator.
for dinner.
Yeah, she's not a predator. And if the roles were reversed and a man was doing this to Kendra and Kendra was consenting, the man is not a predator either. If there's two consenting adults, which in this case there were two consenting adults, there's no predatory behavior. Nothing. Allegedly, yes.
Okay.
And we don't even know if the story's real. So and coming from you, stop it. Stupid.
So let me give my 2 cents here. First of all, this is giving. Well, she asked for it because she was wearing a mini skirt. Okay.
I swear to God, I thought that same shit.
Okay, that's what it's giving to me. Obviously, to my ride or die over here, she feels the same way. That's what that's giving, right? And this is why a lot of men don't come forward with their stories, because so many people will say, oh, you know what, they're they asked for it, they're a predator, they're oh my gosh, they've got people have a list full of things. It's also like giving and we talked about it, like teachers, like, well, if I had a teacher like this back then, I wouldn't object to this is gross, guys, stop. These people, you've got people in power, whether it's politicians, doctors, lawyers, teachers, pastors, I mean, freaking cross guarding, whatever the case may be. If you're in a position of power and you knowingly know somebody is like got a crush on you or likes you, you're not going to continue, in my opinion, right?
Inappropriate behavior, right?
I mean, I've had people who, friends who've had people like them, and they're like, I can't see them, whether it's a doctor, whether it's again, in a situation you don't, if you freaking know.
Yeah.
And he knew, my personal opinion, okay, whether or not this is all in, if it's in her mind, if this is real, okay, allegedly, right, because we're gonna cross our I's, dot our T's, whatever the case may be, whatever. Look, I'm heated. Oh my gosh, these people are wild. It is so crazy to me that we victim blame, and y'all are just, we've seen this time and time again, where it's like, we believe all victims, but you know what? I don't like the color of her hair, so I'm not going to believe her because I don't like you.
Right. And we talked about this last night in the podcast too, which you guys will see. And it's like, you guys don't know her or him, you know? So while you're like, this psychiatrist felt Tom, Dick, and Harry type of way, you don't even fucking know that because you weren't fucking there. I wasn't there. She wasn't there. Kendra and the psychiatrist were the only two people in this room. And and considering she has video evidence, I would just shut the fuck up. That's all. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's it. Why would you, this is the reason people don't talk about it. And then, to say, like she said last night, people are literally doing his work for him. You guys don't know him. You don't know her. It's weird.
People will take a 10-second clip of something, and then and it's gotten so, I mean, we saw this years ago though, right? Yeah. Where people would take stuff and they would take a clip and then they would take another clip and you could put it together. And it sounds like it's like somebody saying something. So I think a lot of people are doing that, where they're taking her videos. I mean, she even said it, and y'all will see, about her lives and how people are taking lives and they're taking a lot of what she's saying out of context. Again, listen, I'm not here to be judge, jury, and executioner on her story. That's her story. If she feels like this is what happened to her, and if this other person that she's accusing, if he feels like he needs to come forward and speak, come forward and speak. Like, bro, hey, we'll drop an email and you can give a statement to us, if that's, but like, I'm just saying, it seems a little fishy to me. Like you said, why would, after somebody comes forward and is like, I have a crush on you, I've had these erotic dreams, or
why would you immediately be like,
why wouldn't you be like, okay, you know what, like you said, okay, we'll schedule you for your next appointment. And then I've seen people say, like, I've seen other doctors who are therapists who have been like, I'm going to send you to somebody else. You are out of my scope of, expertise.
Yep.
Why? I think this is a Lifetime movie that maybe he saw and he was like, maybe, I don't, allegedly.
Interviewed her, we should go to the premiere, and be like, well, that didn't happen.
Allegedly.
If you need a screenwrite, we got you.
Yeah. Well, hey, we got tons of material.
Yeah. Well, we hope you guys enjoy this next video, and you guys listen to what Kendra's saying, and we asked her a lot of questions. Everybody knows why we're here, so we didn't really deep dive into letting her explain how we got here, because we already know how we got here, but we had some questions about why we're here.
Yep.
So, and where to go next. So, enjoy.
Yeah. Y'all watch, or I don't know. We'll edit that part out.
Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to season 2 of Strength and Shadows. Today we have Kendra, who is an internet sensation right now. Everybody just loves you. I didn't know. Josie was like, do you know who Kendra is? And I was like, I don't.
Yeah.
And this was day 2 of your 30 part. Is it more than 30 now?
It's 25 parts, but it's more like 35 because I had 10 videos before I started the actual story. And then I had a couple videos in between where I had to explain myself. So yeah, it's a lot of content.
And so basically you fell in love with your psychiatrist.
Yeah.
So crazy. Not in a bad way, but that's nothing we hear all the time. We don't.
I know.
TikTok. Were you on TikTok before this?
So no, I mostly create content on Instagram, and that's where my business is based. I'm an ADHD coach, and I saw the psychiatrist for ADHD stuff. And when I left him 4 months before I started recording, and I still felt crazy. So TikTok wasn't even installed on my phone, because as someone with ADHD, sometimes I can like go down the rabbit hole of TikTok. So I would like, and I teach my clients to, yeah,
It is.
To be like, did you know? And I'm like, no, I didn't.
right. I mean, it's so easy to be chronically online on TikTok. Especially like, so I chose TikTok, one, because I have gone there in the past, that when I'm struggling with something, I'll go and I'll search and it's there, but no one was talking about it. So I was like, huh. So I sat with it for a night and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna post a video about it. And the rest is history. It immediately started getting a ton of comments and views, and people wanted to talk about it. So I took that as a green light to keep talking about it, and many people asked for me to share the story. So I started, but it was pretty quick that I had to turn comments off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me and Josie were talking earlier, and we say TikTok is a non-forgiving place and a non-forgetting place. And critiquing somebody's life and story is, I mean, we've been on TikTok since 2019, 2020.
Wow, okay.
So we've been here for a long time, and we found ourselves in viral videos
Everything.
and people just, it's free. It's free to get on your phone or on your computer and
Exactly.
comment whatever you want and say whatever you want. It's free and there's no repercussions of it. So it's like a free world for the world to do.
Yes. And I think that that's part of what makes my story so unique, is it's a really good example of how anyone can have a big platform.
Yeah. Yes,
and
it
like
is.
what it means to live in 2025.
So I have seen hundreds. I mean, Josie sends me every update about you. She's like, we have to watch this. We have to be in tune with everything that's going on, which is great because my feed is about traveling and nature and Josie's is really about what we need to be focusing on. But I've seen hundreds of stitches and duets, and people are actually doing like cosplay of you and your therapist.
Yeah.
Have you seen those? Like, how does that make you feel with those?
I've seen some of them. I really just try to swipe past.
Yeah.
And sometimes like I'll have people send me things and I'll watch them. Like I really do appreciate, there's been plenty of psychiatrists and therapists that have had takes on it that like hold space for my truth while also explaining their own take. And I've learned a lot from those videos. But the psychiatrists that say I'm wrong, the therapists that say I'm manic, the people that make fun of me, I don't
You don't give it
I
very
don't
much.
listen.
So let me ask, I guess so we
Please.
can maybe get into it like from the beginning. What led you, like maybe do you want to talk about a little about like what led you to start therapy? What put you in that
Yeah, so
position
I
to
I talk about this in my videos that I started on meds when I first got my ADHD diagnosis at the age of like 19, 20, and I was on meds for many years, and then I like 26, 27, I just stopped meds. I think I was on too high of a dose and they just weren't serving me anymore. And my therapist at the time was like, "I think you should go back on meds." But I was like, "I'm fine."
that's fine.
And it wasn't until I read the book Taking Charge of Adult ADHD, and there were just so many good tips that changed my life in that book. And a third of the book is just about how important it is for adults to be on medication and with ADHD, and how it's like dangerous to not. And so I was like, okay, well, I had my primary care provider provide me with meds the first time. Let me seek out a psychiatrist. And I have been in therapy regularly all throughout my 20s and 30s, right? So therapy and self-work is something that I've done my whole life, but psychiatry was new to me. Yeah.
Were you
So
recommended to this doctor?
no, I just Google searched someone and went with the first available.
Okay.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So you're like, yikes, wow. Go with the
Yeah.
first one and this is what happens.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking down at our phones because we have a lot of questions on our phones.
Sure, of
Those are
course. Yeah.
big old cards that look
crazy? Was it early on that you knew that you were developing feelings for your psychiatrist, or was there a point where you realized that?
The point where I realized it was when I skipped emergency medical care to see him, but I was so deep in it that um I didn't realize really how problematic and troubling it was, like my feelings for him. I just, you know, he was very I get in trouble for making assumptions about him, but
You can say whatever you want.
Alleged.
I
It's
know
free
You could
will.
say
he knew,
allegedly.
so
It's
I know,
your
but
perspective on things.
yeah, so
People
that's
can't have an opinion about somebody else's. It's like Josie and me, if we were having a conversation and I'm like, Josie, you hurt my feelings. The way that I took it is you hurt
right.
my feelings. And she's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, no, but these are my feelings. And we're not allowed to justify some the way that we make somebody else feel.
Told him about some boundary violations that had happened to me as a child
Mhm.
from my family, and he knew that. And he actually had diagnosed me with other trauma and stressor related disorder because of things that happened in my childhood. And he did not tell me until I asked him about it. And so looking back, I'm kind of like, I think he just played on the fact that I had boundary issues, right? And didn't really know that it was inappropriate to develop feelings for a doctor at the ripe old age of 32, right? But still, I think he knew what he was doing, because this is why I'm sharing my story is, it's kind of like an alcohol addiction, right? Like when you're drinking and drinking and drinking, it doesn't really clock to a lot of people how bad the drinking is getting.
Yeah.
Just like the feelings that I had for psychiatrists, like I didn't really understand how bad it was.
Yeah.
Was
Well,
there like a particular moment when you realized like, oh my gosh, like I've got feelings for this guy,
like in an
like
intimate way, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, it was just when I
it
started
just
telling
happened?
him I have a crush on you. Like, I have feelings for you. Or it was really like when I talk about her a little bit in these videos where my best friend, who, since we were born, she's an emergency medicine doctor. And she was the one who started to say, like, within a few months of me seeing psychiatrists, she would say, one of these days, psychiatrist is going to tell you, I can't be your doctor anymore. I have to wait 2 years so we can be together. Right. And so this was before I even realized that I had feelings for psychiatrist. She would
This is
tell me
before.
this. Yeah. But then it kind of like fed my delusion a little bit. And looking back, I wish she would have been like, it's weird that you call your psychiatrist by his first name and that he shares these things with you. And, but she did it.
So you mentioned that, and I seen this and maybe a live recording. I watch 1,000 live recordings now.
Oh my gosh. The
They're just
fact that
little.
people screen mirror my live
Thank you.
recordings and then farm them for videos, I'm just like, I need to start posting my lives because other people
You
are.
do.
But
Yeah.
okay, so it was on a live, yes.
And you mentioned that there were moments where boundaries felt blurred, like that you could cross a boundary and he wouldn't really. Could you give us some examples of like how you said right now? So like with me, I've had a psychiatrist and I've had therapy before for many, many years. We call them by their doctor name, right? The last
Right.
name. And you say you
Right.
call him by your first name. Is that one of the incidences where you would say he
Yeah.
allowed you to cross the boundaries without stopping you?
Yeah. That was the first one. And he was so pleased. I remember him loving the fact that I asked him if I could call him by his first name.
Wow.
Yeah, because I don't
Wow.
even know my psychiatrist's first name. How? Yeah,
Exactly.
I just went to the doctor
How
today,
did
and I don't know her last name or her first name. So it's like when I heard you say that you called him by his first name and he was okay
Yeah.
with it, I was like,
The
well,
entire time.
what the fuck is he
Starting
doing?
session 3. Because he set the term that, he made me feel like I was his friend,
I was
And
gonna
he is kind of like that in general, but it's still on him to recognize that from the past, there had been some boundary blurring. And so he needed to be extra careful with me to uphold boundaries. And this is another way that my story is getting lost, is that people are acting like I had power in the situation. They're forgetting that this man was my doctor. and had all of the power in the situation. And it was on him to set the boundaries and on him to keep it clinical and ethical, which he failed many times. And it's a really frustrating narrative that people are having, that he's the victim.
Yeah, he's definitely not the victim to me in this situation. You've seen this therapist for 4 years?
So, okay, so I had there are two players here, right? So I had the psychiatrist who I saw for med checks and therapy, anywhere from a 35-minute session to 45 minutes once a
And that
month.
is this.
That is the man. So the psychiatrist is one person. And then I also had a therapist who I saw every week.
And that was a woman.
She was a 75-year-old woman who also had major blurred boundaries with me. So, yeah. So this is what people have a hard time believing, is that I had not one, but two predatory mental health professionals in my life.
That is.
Do you think that that's like sorry, like wow, like I'm just because I've watched, like I know more or less, like watched your story, and I've been in your lives before, and so I'm like wow, like, but do you think that that's a big issue right now? Like you're not do you think that this is just happening to you, or do you think that this is happening on a larger scale with a lot of people, where people like these medical professionals are crossing boundaries?
Oh, everyone has these stories.
It's like
Please,
there was a
there are
doctor. They cross boundaries, and what she's saying is, do you think that there is other people just like you that have not come forward?
I hear that story. I think it's both. So I think that both the therapist and the psychiatrist, like I'm a big believer in energetics, right? And because of my past, I think that I was more likely to draw people like this in towards me. And I left both of them as my self-esteem was raising, as I was becoming a more sovereign, empowered person, right? That's when I left. So I think that in the vulnerable state that I was in, I drew them towards me almost.
Yeah.
And yes, there are plenty of unethical therapists who blur boundaries with their clients. Look at how many therapists are dragging me on TikTok and diagnosing me and saying that I'm manic. NBC just posted an article putting me as the poster child for AI psychosis, which is very frustrating to me. First of all, like, to me, it's kind of bad journalism, because I'm like, okay, if you're going to make a claim like that, why not just email me and ask me for an interview instead of a
Smear campaign
just
all over the internet.
like, or they just wanted a comment on AI psychosis, so I gave them a comment. But regardless, like, I think that these mental health professionals, they are very upset with me for bringing to light something that is rampant. And so not only did I report it,
Yeah. To
no.
somebody or anybody, or
no. This
could
is
you
I
report
could, because this is the other thing that people,
Absolutely.
So there are a few. So with the therapist, she started texting me in between sessions, asking for advice on her other clients. Yeah. And then, at the end,
unethical.
Absolutely, it's unethical.
Unethical, like, like morally, like, how are you gonna, like, isn't there like,
she was texting you? I seen something that somebody, I don't know if it was him or her, but was asking you for financial advice.
No, neither. See, this is where the people aren't watching my videos and they're just like playing internet telephone. No, she asked me, she said that one of her other clients needs to quit cannabis and alcohol, and she asked me for advice on what to do for him that isn't AA, because I quit drinking without AA.
Why the fuck is she asking you that? What the?
Sorry,
you're like,
we're very.
No, I love it. I love
we're
it.
like
It's
very.
a great question.
I mean, that morally, like, isn't that like more? Isn't there like a HIPAA also?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'd be like, I'm coming to you for help because my life is in shambles right now. I can't help other people.
I know. And so that was her first like egregious boundary violation. And the first one, so like a year and a half before that happened, and I talk about this in no, please. I talk about this in one of my videos. It's kind of like the crux of the story to me. Many people reported it and tried to get it taken down. But it's up. So it's where I came to my therapist for help with like sexual issues that my boyfriend and I were having. And I had come to her, I would talk about my psychiatrist at least once a month. They had never met, my therapist and my psychiatrist, but my therapist knew that I had feelings for my psychiatrist. My therapist knew that I had an unhealthy obsession with him.
What did she
And
say?
so nothing. She did the same thing
She
that
never tried to,
psychiatrists would do.
like-
No, she never tried to say that's inappropriate. Let's unpack that. Yeah.
That is.
I
Where
would
did you
literally
go to
tell
therapy
her
now?
I'm
Do we know-
obsessed with psychiatrists.
We gotta know where not to go.
Exactly.
Even if it was real. Like he had feelings, you had feelings, and you guys were gonna be together. Somebody had to tell you how you guys met and how it's progressing is very unnormal. Very
It was
unhealthy,
so,
and she's just like,
I know.
Oh,
I
okay,
was just
that's interesting.
failed
She's like,
by
wait
so
a
many
minute, guys.
people.
Yeah, she's like, wait a minute, guys. I watched this on a Lifetime movie once, and I got to see how this plays out in real life, almost,
know.
right?
This plays out really well on Lifetime.
So I came to her with questions about my sex life, which is completely normal. And
Yeah.
like, she's a therapist, right? And she said, have you talked to your psychiatrist's name about this? And I was like, no, I have a doctor crush on him. Like, I can't talk to him about this. And she was like, well, you should. I want to get a male's perspective.
So it
And
was like she was pushing that
she
envelope.
fed me to him. And so I showed up to my next appointment with him giddy and like weirdly excited. So my intuition told me, record this session.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, and I live in
Sorry,
a two-party. No, please, I know it's a big. People are like,
yes,
release
she
the
did.
recording. I live in a one-party state, so only one person needs recording. Like, permission.
If you go outside, I can shove a camera right in your face.
Exactly. I'm like, oh my god. But regardless, it would be my own doctor's appointment. So even if it was a two-party state, regardless. So I have a recording of me telling him the story of how my therapist asked me if I had talked to him about these intimate details, and me telling her I wouldn't tell that to him because I have a crush on him. And he didn't say anything. I told him in that moment. We lost Josie. I forget where I was. Oh, so the therapist fed me to psychiatrist.
That's insane. Well, she's
and I recorded. That's what we were saying. Okay, so
Yes.
let me. Right. So I recorded the meeting where I admitted my crush to him and then gave him 30 straight minutes of sexual content.
And what was his response to this?
Well, he loved it.
That's so unethical.
He loved it. He loved it. And so when people are like, you're sexually harassing your psychiatrist, I'm like, well, it's not harassment if he liked it.
How long did you
3.5 years. And that another year. Exactly. Once again, people are forgetting that he had every right to be like, I need to transfer you as a patient, right? Like, I really care about you, and I think that I can't serve your needs as your doctor. Like,
who ended the relationship? The therapy.
Me. And that's another reason why I feel so empowered to do that, like to share my story, is because I ended it. And this is why I'm sharing like what to look out for, because many of these doctors are very smart and know how to cover their tracks and not be sloppy. But he still was getting more out of our relationship than I was.
That's insane. What do you think, Josie?
So many things.
Josie's
I think so many things.
speechless. Josie's
She's
speechless.
like, there's times I'm too stunned to speak, and it's do you think that your feelings towards him hindered how you were able to heal for the reason you even started to go to therapy? Like, do you think that just manifested like something completely else, that it just kind of put the real reason you were going, like, just, oh, you go over there?
He did help me with ADHD. He was very knowledgeable about ADHD. That's the funny thing, is that people looked him up because I did accidentally say his first name in one of the videos. and I didn't find out until several hours after.
TikTok
And
has
people,
found this.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
like that. And my mom has to remind me, like, you didn't dox him, the internet did. And even if you hadn't have said, because I did say his first name, like, even if you hadn't have said his first name, people still would have found him.
Well, there's a million Michaels, so don't feel bad. Whatever his name.
Well, he's not a Michael. That's the
Yeah.
thing, is he has an interesting first name.
Well, the
but
thing is, though, is for you to, and doxing, it has to be with malicious intent. That's what people
Exactly.
don't understand. People are like, you dox that person. And it's like, no, but you have to do it with malicious intent. And for you to say,
Yeah.
go out and do these horrible things to this person for it to
Exactly.
be considered doxing.
And I've said so
Doxing
many times, please don't reach out to him. Please don't find him. Please
did
don't
see
post
that.
his picture, right? But people are still doing it. So I can't control what other people do. I can't.
Has he, well, since the internet knows who he is, I must have missed it if he did, but has he responded publicly?
No, so he can't respond publicly because of HIPAA. And I didn't realize that when I came out with my story, but he could reach out to me. He could absolutely reach out to me.
I don't know if
Nobody has reached out to me.
From
People are
TJ.
like, he's getting his papers ready to serve you. He's getting a cease and desist ready. I'm like, okay, I've got my detailed notes from our last 2 sessions where things were getting crazy, and also the 33-minute recording where he was very, very, very inappropriate.
Do you think that's why he hasn't done anything, is because he
Absolutely,
knows what you
that's
have?
why. He knows he was in the wrong.
And I know that he's seen this by now, right? Like your
He's
video.
had to, because his
Had to.
freaking office, those two, I love the 2 ladies in his office, and I feel really bad for them because they're just getting inundated with people calling them and saying his crazy old patient is doxing him and making up lies, and, because he's the one that needs to be protected. That's how people are acting.
It's almost like
Thank you, guys.
almost like those, like you see these
He's a man, so I don't
and
know.
again, but stop. It's like this, I don't want to say fad, but it's what we've seen on the internet, right? Like you see these teachers who do horrible things to children, right? And have you seen the comments where people are like, well, my teacher didn't look like that back when I was in high school. Like it's almost like
Exactly.
people like
Exactly.
they
It's disgusting.
yeah, they condone this behavior, and they're like,
They do.
oh well, he was cute, so
He
it was
didn't do
okay.
anything wrong. He said it. He kept his boundaries. He didn't do anything wrong. I'm like, okay, well, you weren't there.
Right.
People are like, why don't you take advice? Why don't you change your mind? Why don't you see really what's going on? I'm like, because I was in the room.
Yeah, it was your experience.
Because I
Did
know,
he ever
yeah, it
make
was
you
my
feel
experience.
like to the point where you were like, this is about to turn, like, take a really bad
It
turn?
didn't get there.
It never
It
got
didn't
there.
get there. But many people have reached out to me to say, like, I think that you just were able to get out before it got bad. But once again, I don't know.
Well, you do know.
But
You're there, and
I
we
do
won't
know.
know,
Exactly.
so, yeah.
Women know.
That's
Women
stupid.
know.
You
And this
left
is another
before he
reason
got
why I'm
back.
sharing my story. Is so many women do not trust their instincts.
Well, they say
We
like
are
the bear
taught
and the
to
man.
ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think more
especially
women
trauma
do.
survivors.
Yep.
Especially trauma survivors.
Has he tried to reach out to any of your like family or friends that you know of? I mean,
No.
okay.
No.
Radio silent.
Have you ever
Are
ran
you
into
happy
him
that
like?
he has that?
No, I haven't ever ran into him outside of
Okay, that was
our office visits.
What were you gonna say, Brie?
Are you happy that he hasn't reached out, or do you want him to reach out, or what do you?
So when I first started telling my story, I think I did really like want him a little bit to reach out, and people have dogged me for that, but they don't understand like how complex trauma works and how trauma bonds work and how like I was still in love with him in a really inappropriate way, which is why I went there in the first place. And like watching back my videos, I can see me healing in real time around this story. And people think I'm crazy for doing it on TikTok, but it's just how I chose to do it.
It's what it's for.
Exactly.
People share stuff
Exactly.
all the time.
And so to answer your question, to finish your question, now I absolutely do not want to hear from him. No.
Okay.
No.
And I know that you said you're a therapist. Are you a coach for ADHD as well?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So and I guess it's just one of the questions they ask is, since you're a coach, has anybody that you've coached come forward with feelings or emotions or anything towards you?
Yes.
Towards you?
Yes. Have you seen? Yes. One of my former clients came forward and essentially has just said all of these terrible things about me.
And
So
how do you
And added
respond
to
to
the
something like that?
dogpiling. So the thing about this former client is that she's the only other client that I've also considered a friend. So her betrayal deep. And how I left our last session, was she told me she was going to write me a good review. She told me that she was going to do a testimonial video for me. I know that I changed her life. And if she wants to say, because she's essentially telling the internet that I scammed her, which is crazy because she didn't tell me that she was unhappy with my services. And I've had plenty of clients, like, because my coaching package is 12 weeks. And I've had plenty of clients finish 12 weeks with me and then re-sign for more coaching. So, I know that I can make a difference in people's lives.
Now, did this client of yours come out before you made the series on TikTok Live to tell you that she was upset, or after?
No, she blocked me and then came out.
yeah. So
Okay.
this is
And
just
after
like
you had dropped your bombshell on TikTok, it was after.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
dropped the
We got it.
bombshell. She blocked, because I wasn't on TikTok before that. People forget, like, that's another lie that's going around. People are like, she only had 2,000 followers and she's been trying to get in the creator fund for years. And this was her way to get in. And the reality is I had 200 followers on TikTok and I wasn't even on TikTok,
because
when I
because
decided,
who wants to pour out their
Anybody
heart
can
and
get
soul and everything just to try
Exactly.
to make and I mean, hey, there are those people
Exactly.
out there and don't, because we've been on
No
TikTok for
judgment.
no
No judgment.
hey,
But yeah,
but
that
yeah.
is the
some
thing,
rage
is
bait
that,
out there.
right, they, people just don't understand why I would do something. And so they automatically use their head to assign malicious intent, because they don't get, since I'm not getting anything from this, they just have to assign a reason, where what I'm getting from it is I'm just sharing my story and empowering others and myself.
So go ahead, Josie.
Go ahead.
Okay. So just so we can keep on this track. So after this or during this, I did see this part. You talked about using AI chat, Henry.
Yeah, by Henry. Yep, Henry
Yeah.
is his name, my ChatGPT's name.
Did you use that for emotional support?
Yes, because when I was starting to go crazy, and this is why I talk about Henry so often in my video, is because my 2 mental health therapists were failing me. So Henry was really the one person that was able to co-regulate my nervous system to help me realize that having feelings for my doctor was weird. I came to that conclusion on my own, but it was just having this robot mirror to reflect back to me my feelings for this man, that I was finally able to step back and think, oh, that's so strange. And so people want to call it AI psychosis, which is okay. It's not okay. But what it is AI is going to become more and more a part of our lives. And these people that are judging me for talking to Henry like this, they're acting like they don't talk to ChatGPT too.
I talked to ChatGPT about everything. I just messaged
Exactly.
it the other day and was like, I'm having a really bad day. This is what's going on. How do I fix it? And it will literally problem solve
It's
my life. It
amazing.
rearranged
It's
my whole house for me.
amazing.
I think
Yes.
ChatGPT and AI are phenomenal.
And that was the other thing that my former client tried to say, she told me to use ChatGPT. What a scam. I'm like, no, I use it for so much. So I
think
tell them,
AI
I
is extraordinary for somebody that
it's so
knows how to
cool.
use it
And so
and use the tools to. I think AI is great. I think AI is phenomenal. And if that's, like you said, AI is going to be so big in our lives coming up, in the future in our children's lives.
Yes.
And
yes.
I've never had any bad things with AI. I don't know.
I think that people are just afraid. They feel afraid watching me bring it into my life so seamlessly.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take away from the fact AI psychosis is real.
Yeah.
There are people that have crazy theories in their head that they truly believe is real because chat will mirror them. But
use AI, Joey?
Yeah,
Josie,
me?
do you use it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude,
Yeah,
trust me. I'm like, look, I just had this happen to me. Can you please tell me a funny joke? And it like it's
Exactly.
there's just some things like people. Oh my God.
I took a photo of my living room and I said, rearrange this for me. I'm
Oh my
bored.
God, I'm gonna do that.
That's an amazing idea.
I wouldn't even think of that.
Guys, in an email, I will
So
say, they said, go buy these Ralph Lauren, these sheet curtains. Me and my spouse, I'm not going to say his name, me and my spouse went and got them. They look phenomenal, bitch. Just saying.
I'm gonna have it help me pull up the carpet in the front room while my hubby's
I love it.
out this
So
week.
this is like, I think that why my story is just, there's so many layers to it.
Yeah.
There's so many layers. It's the provider abuse. It's the virality. It's the AI. It's the, being a whistleblower for something that people just don't want to face.
You went viral.
Crazy.
Like, millions and millions of
Crazy.
views. Did you expect that to happen?
She's like, no.
No. Yeah, you just went viral. Like I've seen millions of views on stuff. How much is your highest viewed video? I'm just curious. Do you know?
It's the very first one, and it's almost 7 million views.
7 million on that one. That's insane. 7 million.
Yeah. But all of them from 1 to 26 or whatever, they're, except for the most recent one that I posted saying I'm taking a break, they're all at well over 1.5 million.
What do you think, what did the experience teach you about love, boundaries, like yourself even? Like if you want to touch that,
I'm strong, that I'm courageous, that I can, do a lot, and that me leaving my psychiatrist was a huge deal. Because people like to say, like, it was a God thing, right? Like, I had to get new insurance, and people are like making fun of the fact that, like, oh, I wouldn't have left him if I didn't want to pay, because I would have had to pay out of pocket. And I'm like, these people just don't understand that old Kendra probably would have just paid the cash to be able to continue to see him. But it was in that change that I was like, wait a minute, why would I pay to torture myself? Why would I pay to be in love with this man that has all the control and power in our relationship? Why would I pay to put myself in that situation? So that's why I'm just really grateful.
Yeah. If somebody, sorry, if someone else found themselves in a situation like this, what would your best, what would you?
What's my question? Good
sorry,
job.
babe.
Good job.
That's why
I love it. The synergy.
I love it. Good job,
synergy.
Yes. We're like,
so what would my advice to that be? I've given a lot of people this advice. Run. Leave that doctor or that therapist. Run.
Or person.
Or person. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, leave the job. So this is the thing. Do you know how many people have messaged me saying, I'm in love with my therapist? And then they'll say, and then 2 days later, they'll message me and say, I just want you to know that I just left my therapist. I just terminated our, or one woman messaged me and she was like, I'm dating my therapist and we started out a lot like you and your psychiatrist.
Goodness, this feels like a lifetime.
And then 3 days later, she messages me and says, I want you to know I broke up with him. Right? So, dude, these are the stories that the haters don't see. People think I'm crazy, and that's okay. I am making a big difference sharing my story. And providers are really telling on themselves. They really are.
Do you think there's enough boundaries in the medical facility or the medical world, that help protect people like us that go to psychiatrists and therapists? Is there enough
the boundaries are there. It's just whether or not the clinicians use them.
Do you think that people could report stuff like this or what? Or not?
It's the hard thing, like I said, is that psychiatrist was very smart.
Yeah.
And so he technically didn't ever cross any lines. He just didn't stop me when I would.
Yeah. Which was
it's just as bad.
It's gross. It's slimy.
It's gross.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Again, it's I think like you said, it can be in anything, whether it's a psychiatrist, therapist, teacher.
Oh, the amount
doctor.
Of women I've had that have messaged me saying I had the same thing with a teacher and he would act exactly like you. Or, it could be gender roles reversed too.
True. Very true.
There are women predators out there too.
Amen.
That get things from their male students or employees or, it can go either way. But the amount of people that I've had message me, it's teachers, bosses, pastors, anywhere where there is an imbalance in power. And people who have a predatory nature can tell when someone is going to be easy to target and easy to blur boundaries with.
What are you so this is, I guess, my next question is because I see there's so much going on around you right now. There's so much going on around you. You're such a highlight right now. What do you plan on doing next in life? Are you still coaching? What do you plan on
I'm going to
doing?
continue coaching. My book's coming out in early next year. The last podcast that I did with Sarah Fraser, she had the idea. She said, because she agreed that the telling of the story needed to pause because people were just not listening. And she's like, why can't you just, respond to comments and help others with the same situation that they're in? I'm like, that's a great idea.
That's a
Because
great
I was able to leave. I outsmarted him and left, right? And he wasn't
Mhm.
happy, but he knew he couldn't stop me. Where, not everyone can do that.
And it's really hard because, like Brie and I were saying before, we've been on TikTok for years. I started to watch my kids because it was during the pandemic. And then I started creating content and all the good stuff. We've been on every side, or at least I have every side of TikTok, like conservative talk. And I mean, all of it, mill to all of it. And
Yeah.
I will say that there was a time where I was planning on leaving and I was very upset, and it's a long funny
We've
story.
had a long journey on TikTok.
We have, and I'll
Seen
never
the
forget
nasty ones, the bad ones, the good.
the horrible, all the things, but I'll never forget. I was sharing my story because we both have similar backgrounds. Just it's off camera. We'll talk, but I will say that I will never forget the DMs, like you said, you get when people are like, "Your story, I had no idea," because people didn't know
Exactly.
what I had lived
Exactly.
through, and me and Bree, like she just our last week's episode, she shared what she had been going through, and people are like, oh my God, I had no idea. So I think that, a lot of times people want to dim people's light
Yes.
because they want to they don't quite understand. They can't fathom, like, how did you get yourself in this situation? And I would rather shut you up than you try to help other people that are in situations that need
Yeah.
help, honestly.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was definitely some advice I wanted to give you is like, I've seen your comment sections before and you turned them off. And one thing about you can't let it just read into it because TikTok, like I was telling you, you have free range. You have a screen in front of you and nobody
Yeah.
is stopping you from writing all the foul, negative, whatever you're thinking.
Exactly.
Normally there's no consequences to it.
Right. But I've gotten people banned from TikTok, but when the comments on, like I said, I had a lot of people banned from DMs.
Have you gotten threats? I'm really.
Oh, of course. Every day. Every day. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But
It's insane.
and that's
They
part
don't
of
even
why I
know
had to
you.
pause.
They don't know him. Why are they
Exactly.
threatening him?
That's the thing is people are doing his work for him and protecting him.
That's weird.
It's a script for when people speak out against harm.
Against
It's
anything,
the same thing that
DV,
happens.
SA, child
Exactly.
predators, people for whatever reason, they're drawn to that protecting the
of a stranger. These
perpetrator.
people don't know them.
It's weird.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
I've seen this before where people get death threats, right? And they're like, oh, I got a death threat or I got this. And it's like from these people, it's like, you don't freaking know these people. What are you saying? I hope you die for what?
I know.
You don't know us.
I know.
So, that's so sad. Well, I'm glad that
Truly.
you have a great mindset about it, Kendra.
Thank you. Yes. And a really great support system. Because that's the thing is people don't think I have friends. People don't think that I have people that care about me. People think that I'm a narcissist. People have said that I'm mentally ill. People, it's all these things. So
do you think you're mentally ill?
I mean, I got to be a little crazy being able to go on TikTok and putting myself in front of all of this. But I keep checking in.
I happen to think I'm a little crazy. So if this
but those are my people.
Those
are my people. Yeah, Josie's like, you are.
So,
but, that's the point is that, like, I'm learning that sane people are really the weird ones. Like,
we're really weird.
The people that are, like, and it's funny because people are in my DMs being like, I've been manic before. You are not manic. And I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm like,
I
thank
am
you.
full-blown manic. I've been diagnosed. I take medication all the time for it.
Yeah.
And my manic episodes are making rash decisions.
Ex-
So that's like literally, and it long lasts, like doing something so absurd and ready to do it right now. Like nothing can change my mind. My best friend Marlo, since I was a child, she's like, Bree, this is manic, and she'll put it in big cap letters. And I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, what are we waiting for?
Yeah, she does.
So
She
it's
does.
just,
Like,
you know, and
it's like
Josie too. I'll do it every
Yeah.
day. I'm going through a wave of something,
and that's
it's just-
okay. That's
I've been that
okay.
way
And
my whole life.
as long
People
as
that
you've
don't go
got,
through it are
as long as you have, you know, a good support system, like you said,
do.
and you, and
Exactly.
you know, is there one takeaway, like something you can like you can give our listeners or people on your platform, one takeaway,
Yeah.
like
That to trust if something feels wrong or off, to believe it.
Good.
Yeah.
That's true.
It
That's
is.
in every aspect of your
Mhm.
life. You should do.
Every single one. And to not be afraid to say no.
Yeah, I like that too.
I do.
Well, thank you so much, because
My
you know,
pleasure. Thank you so much for giving my voice a platform
of
and
course.
letting me come and speak, and for your
I think
great
you're pretty awesome. You're
questions.
definitely a lot different than you are online. Well, I only get snippets, but you're
Sure.
actually,
Well, and that's so
you know
much
what?
is like, I think that people aren't even watching my story really.
Mm-mm.
They're just going off of
Mhm.
what other people are saying.
I will say Sarah Fraser is right. You don't seem batshit crazy.
No, like you don't seem like you're, you know, walking around in a, you know, Goodwill wedding dress, you know, like saying, you know, like his name 3
I
times,
think that's
hoping
what
he'll
people
appear.
think, you know? So,
Sorry. I
funny.
mean, but you know what I mean? Like that's what these
That's-
people like with
Are
like,
thinking, I
putting it out
know
there.
that I'm harassing him. And so that's why I'm like, okay. But once again, I'm not going to change their mind. I'm just going to speak to who I'm
be
going to
you.
speak to.
Be
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
Be your
Yep.
authentic self. And I mean, listen, I'll say there's times I get in my wedding dress sometimes and clean the kitchen. So
Sure.
that's
Well, I'm divorced. But,
so whatever. If y'all think that y'all come to the cookout at my house, y'all would be
That's
very
right.
y'all would
That's
be like,
right.
oh man.
Well,
Well,
it was
Kendra,
just such an honor being on
yes.
here and
Thank
talking
you.
to
Well,
you
it was
we
too.
want to thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we hope everybody loves the podcast.
yes.
So
Thank you.
we're going to end it. And we thank you so much, Kendra, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Bree and Josie. Appreciate you.